Yo guys, welcome to the video. This is Josh or Milky, and in today's video we're going to be talking about, well, the Settlers of Kalguur and how it's been going for me so far. I haven't made any videos as of yet. Normally I would have done, but I feel like this league mechanic and this league in general has required me to play a bit more to be confident in some of the things that I speak about. So there have been obviously a lot of discoveries. First of all, we'll get this one out of the way. I'm going to link this sheet in the description. This has been made by a member of the community. And it basically shows you what you're going to get when you send a specific material to a specific port. So that's going to be in the description. But then we'll get on to what you want to do basically with your town. So first of all, the big thing is getting a lot of gold and a lot of the resources so you can upgrade everything to max. Because at max, which is level 11 for each one, you get kind of like a capstone effect. So for example, for farming, the capstone is that plots yield 10% increased crop per adjacent plot. So some of these are really good. Now, the first one you absolutely want to get is this mining one, because this is going to be giving you more gold. Marking ore in areas grants gold equal to the amount of ore. So this one is very, very important. Make sure you max mining as soon as possible. In terms of all the little upgrades you do in between that, it's pretty one-to-one. Like, if to upgrade mining, you'll need materials that come from upgrading smelting. You'll basically bounce between them all. The most important thing you could do is just make sure you're farming enough materials and you have your miners working on them so that you have, you know, enough to go. Try and get a pretty good split, and that way you're always going to have what you need, assuming you're running enough maps. Then for the next one, definitely Disenchanting. The ability to disenchant unique items is absolutely crazy. I've started marking down just how much they're worth on my sheet. You can see Moroi Urki is 1 million. If you want to see my dust right here, I have 3.6 million. And that's just because if you get rid of some of these fairly cheap T0 uniques, you get a ton of dust. So that's how I have so much dust. Definitely want to get the Disenchanted to max rank. Now, it does take an awful lot of dust to upgrade this to the max rank. So in the meantime, what I was doing was just putting in basically anything. But there are some little things you can do. Corrupted items, quality items, and items with influence sell for more. So what I was doing was I was picking up like high item level armors basically from my maps and just throwing on one lesser of each to give them 2 influences, and then just throwing them in, and then sometimes corrupting them, throwing them in, even quality in them if they were good ones. And that way they're just constantly ticking over and you don't really have to worry about it. As soon as you get, I think it's about 600k dust to get it to max. Then you just start disenchanting uniques and you'll never have to worry about that again. Smelting, it's not all that good, but smelting is extremely important. You definitely want to get your smelting done. And we'll talk about that when we get to shipping, which we just happen to arrive at right now. I won't really go over the mapping thing. This is going to be a video in and of itself. You can see I've got my guys 100% in T16 maps at this point. So they're pretty okay. You know, this is one map. It takes them about 15 minutes. I didn't really have to do anything. So can't really complain about free loot that I did nothing really to get. So sure, you know, it all adds up. But let's go and look at shipping. That's probably why you're all here. Shipping, it goes without saying, it's fairly weak in terms of the rewards people have been getting so far. Sometimes you're going to get a div back. And I know it does feel like, oh, I spent 4 hours and got nothing back. But in reality, this is all going to be very automated by the time you've got everything set up. I spend maybe minutes clicking, you know, the stuff I need to do. So it may feel bad at the beginning because you're spending a lot of time in your town doing everything because you're getting it all set up. But once it's set up, it is all automated. So do bear that in mind. You really don't spend much time in here at all once you've got it maxed out. Now, the next thing that I'm working on is there are some ideas, at least, that you can build a reputation with each of the places. I don't know this for sure. There's no way for me to see in game other than this interface you can see right here. I know it's quite small, I'm sorry. But basically they have a favored resource. Each place is going to have a favored resource at any given time. And that is going to be what they're going to give you an enhanced rate to the shipping for. So if I look at Kalguur here, if I was to give them Orichalcum, they would give me 45% more shipping. Now, one thing you can do, if you look at this value at 16k, whenever it's ore, you can divide this number by 5, and that's how many bars you need. And that is because bars are worth 5, and the ore is worth 1. So very important, you want to send as many bars as you can. That's why smelting is essential, because 1 ore get smelted into one bar. So to get more shipping, you want to get as many bars as you can. So getting the highest level smelters you can get and transforming them all into bars is going to be great. So one ore is 4, I think. So one thing is 16 there, look. And this is, what? 4, yeah. So it's 4 times more value on shipping, but it takes 5 times the chunk out of the favored resource that they want, if that makes sense. I know it's a bit weird. So yeah. But the reputation basically means that every time you fill these favored resources, they're going to reset and they're going to get even bigger and they're going to want even more. And the rumor is that when you do this, they get more favorable to you. They give you better rewards. So that's what I'm trying to work on right now. Obviously, the amount that they want from me is quite high. I should have this done tomorrow to get this one to the next one. And then we'll see how many they want after that. Man, this is looking like weeks and weeks, maybe, if it keeps scaling this hard. But we'll see about that. As I said, the cheat sheet is very good. The main ones that I've been doing is just sending what they want, as well as dust. If you don't know how dust works, you can send it with your shipments, and there are breakpoints. So you can see I've sent 8,250 with this shipment I have sent off. That is because it becomes a 3x multiplier. 55 is 2x, 550 is 2.5x, and 8k is 3x. I just, dragged and let go. That's why it's a bit more. So you make sure you're doing that as well, because you're going to get more bang for your buck. You're going to get more rewards back. And then on top of that, each place has different things they give. Now, I've just been focused on doing Ribe and Fell, because I'm going to eventually just use it to get a load of scarabs and currency, and maybe unique jewelry, because they seem like they'll be the best rewards. And the runes are actually pretty valuable. I've been selling runes quite well. The value of runes is definitely good. But that's where I'm at the moment. There's still a lot for me to mess around with and discover and tinker with. The mapping is looking quite promising if I can get it set up. I actually got them to run a T17 map for me today. They didn't get much loot. As you can see, one's just finished. And this is what we've got. 33 sim splinters, a bit of bubblegum currency. It ain't bad when you're doing literally nothing, right? I mean, I guess you could argue I could sell these maps, but I don't want to do that. It's all right. It's pretty good. Now, how was I getting gold? That's probably a question on your guys' mind. I've farmed a few different things so far, and all the sheets, as always, are available on my Atlas Trees spreadsheet. I farmed Heist and Altars on day 1 just to farm up some blueprints to sell, because it's really easy Chaos Orbs early on to get my currency going. Then I farmed gold. I really wanted as much gold as I can, and the tree that I settled on was this one right here. So I was farming Delirium and Beyond with shrines, putting on Domination, Shrine Scarabs, as well as the ones on the map device. And you end up getting about 8 to 10k gold per map doing this strat. Now, the currency returns from the strat aren't insane. I was getting a decent amount, but the thing I was really going for with the strategy was the gold. You do get a lot of scarabs as well. So you are getting stuff to sell, but it's certainly not like the highest divines per hour strat in the world. But gold was what I was after. Now, I've also moved on. At this point, I've moved on to farming boxes. Boxes give a ton of gold, especially if you set it up correctly. I do, again, have this on my spreadsheet. It's called Ambush. It's right here, Ambush, current. You can do this one if you really want. These scarabs are quite expensive, so do bear that in mind, but you do get a lot of gold, and the returns are pretty good. I've duped like 7 divines today. I think I had 1 divine on my ring this morning, and now I'm up to, 15? So yeah, duped 7 divines today. Pretty nice, just from boxes. And then finally, one thing I want to say is for maps, a lot of people have been struggling with map sustain. What I do, if you're capable, you don't have to kill the boss if you choose to do this. Go into the cheapest T17 map you can, roll it so that you can run it, ideally with more maps. So you want the modifier on the T17, whichever one you choose to do, to say more maps. I'll show you what that looks like right here. So if we Chaos Orb this, oh, you can see it right there, underneath pack size, more maps. So roll this to be runnable for your character and to also give you more maps. And then if you throw on escalation scarabs, these new escalation scarabs, a corruption scarab, and 3 multitude scarabs, bro, you're farming like 30 plus AMOD maps per map. It's really, really good. So I haven't worried too much about map sustain when I've been running T16. I've just been running out of maps and then going to T17 to get the T16 maps again. And it's a nice little flow. You don't have to do many T17 maps to get hours worth of T16s. So that is where I'm at right now. If you watch this video, you're a real one, because I'm tired as hell and I probably rambled like a madman. But appreciate you, and hopefully you got something out of this. I will love to do more videos on League Mechanic this league. I just want to get things figured out. I don't want to just come out with random shit that isn't worth looking into. So this obviously is time gated, so there's a lot that goes into figuring out the best stuff and getting it all upgraded. But I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching.